Hey there, teenage Baltimore. Don't change that channel because it's time for the inspiration show with the one and only Grace Carroll. I am so honored and so excited to welcome the incredibly talented Grace to the inspiration show. She is currently starring as Tracy Turnblad in Hairspray at the Cape Playhouse. Grace, thank you so much for joining me. I am so excited to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to chat.
So let's start at the very beginning. When did you discover that you had a passion for singing and for theater?
Oh, wow. My parents like to say that I've been singing since before that I could talk. I have two parents who are both musicians, as well as an older brother who's a musician as well. So singing just was something that was kind of standard in our house, singing in the car, singing around the house. And I realized very quickly how much I loved to get up and sing just for anybody that would listen at family events, at anywhere, truly. And yeah, so very, very young, but I started theater around high school.
Oh, wow, that's incredible. And I mean, I love that like when you're surrounding it your entire
Yeah,
life, it's kind of just like the only life you've ever known. And just, at family events, like it's always been
truly.
like it
Yeah,
runs in the family. And I think
it
that's so
really
great.
does.
Oh, that's awesome. So what inspired you to really become a performer and who's been an inspiration of yours throughout your career?
Well, I remember growing up watching musicals constantly. As since my dad is a musician, he would perform in the pit bands or he would conduct them through his high school that he was working at or any community theater that he would have. And my mom would always take me to go see. And so I loved the exposure to it. And I think that a big part of that kind of growing up watching it was watching those greats, that Julie Andrews, Bette Midler, watching them just be shining on my TV and then go to the theater and see somebody else do it. And it's just an amazing opportunity. So definitely Julie Andrews, Bette Midler. I love Amy Poehler so much. Yeah.
Oh, all of the legends.
Yeah.
So, can you take us back to the first time you experienced theater and how you were feeling at the time?
The first time I remember seeing theater was West Side Story at my dad's high school that he was teaching at. I remember like seeing movies, but I hadn't put it together that you could see it in person.
Mhm.
And I was, I remember being blown away. I must have been like 3 or 4 at the time, but I remember just loving it and wanting to stand up and dance and seeing everybody just expressing themselves through song and music in person was just so cool. So I was really inspired from a young age.
I mean, West Side Story is also like it always comes back to West Side Story because I feel
I
like so many
know.
people have like seen the original or like now the new Spielberg revival that he did the
Yeah.
film and like I feel like so many people don't realize the experience of seeing that show on stage. Like in the
Yeah.
movies, it's incredible, but
Yeah.
when you see it in front of you, like you're speechless. It's
It's
oh,
it's otherworldly. It's beautiful and the music is incredible.
it's so fast forward to 2023, you graduated with a BFA in acting from
I
Western
did.
Michigan University. So how did your experience at WMU influence your development as an actor and prepare you for a career in theater?
Yeah, I had a wonderful experience at Western Michigan. The acting faculty were fantastic. Through them, we worked towards an acting showcase that taught us how to manage ourselves and showcase our talent for the industry, as well as I was fortunate enough to showcase with the musical theater students as well. It was kind of like a little side thing that they let me do that
Yeah.
I took extra classes, I tested into it. I had to, make the grades and I was allowed to showcase in New York City with the rest of the musical theater class, which was so incredible. They take great care at Western preparing you for the life that you want to lead and whatever that might mean. So if you have these big goals and these big dreams ahead of you. They will prepare you in a way that helps you target those, as well as if you are somebody who would want to continue doing regional theater or doesn't want to do all of those big things, but wants to still continue performing, they have ways to prepare you for that as well. I left feeling completely ready. I mean, you can never feel like you know everything, but I am very, very grateful for my experience at Western for sure, especially in the acting department. They were amazing, amazing.
And I mean, at Western, you graced the stage in so many gorgeous theater productions. You did Into the Woods, you did The
You
Thanksgiving
did.
Day, you did Last 5 Years, and
Yes.
like
Oh my
so many
gosh.
more. Which WMU productions have been the most memorable for you? And could you share a few standout moments?
Yeah. One of the first one that came to mind was Amelia. It was a play by Morgan Lloyd Malcolm, and we were, I believe, the US debut, potentially. It was at least the collegiate debut, I believe. But it's a play that's entirely led by women or non binary or femme presenting people. And it's reclaiming a lot of liberty that Shakespeare's time took from us. So a lot of the women are playing men because
Yeah,
women weren't allowed to be in theater at the time, so we took that back.
I
It was
love
an
that.
amazing, amazing show. I played somebody really funny and silly, and then got to share just such an amazing experience with all these beautiful, talented women that I was really, really blessed to get very close with in that show. So that was definitely a highlight, as well as Into the Woods. That was a big, big, big goal for me to be able to play the witch. And so I'm so, so grateful for that opportunity as well. That was wonderful. And everything that I did at Western was just fantastic.
Yes, there's nothing like doing theater with the people that you go to school with. Like, I
Truly.
think it's so special because I know for me, like, I also was a theater major in high school, and it's
Yeah.
so funny to like have your like regular academic classes with the people that
Yeah.
you're in theater with, and it's like, okay, we have a math test, and then next period we're gonna go rehearse for Spamalot, and I'm just gonna die on the floor. Like,
Yes,
I think
exactly.
it's so special just, being a theater major and just like, that family that you create and then getting to be out on stage
Yes.
with everyone. Like there's nothing in the world like it. It's so
It's
special.
it's wonderful.
So you also performed on the Disney Cruise Line on the
I
Disney One
did.
ship, and you spent 2 years performing in Australia, which is insane.
Yeah.
So what was it like performing and living on a Disney Cruise Line ship?
It was like nothing I've ever experienced before. So they're 9-month contracts. You do about 7 months on the ship. So I spent about, I'm gonna maybe 4, 5 months in Australia at a time, and then would go back and cross the Pacific Ocean. So it was. I never left the country before my first Disney contract. I had it was my first big professional job. I was so, so excited, so nervous. Disney is very precious and very well loved. And so I wanted to make sure I was being considerate of the characters and of the stories that were being told. I felt like I had a lot of guidance from there. And yeah, Australia's fantastic. New Zealand, oh, blew me out of the water. And I got to travel so, so much in my first 2 years out of college, after never having left the country and barely having left the Midwest. It was so incredible.
And what roles did you play when you were there? Because I know they alternate the shows. I had another friend of mine, the lovely Hattie Ryan King. She just finished up a Disney contract as well.
I
And
know Hattie Ryan
yeah,
King.
yeah.
Oh,
So I'm so
no.
curious. What did you like? What roles did you do when you were there? And like, did you flip? Because I know
Yes.
Hattie said they did like Frozen, and then they did Brave. So what was
Yes.
that? What did you do? I'm so
So
curious.
Hattie's done a couple different ships, I believe. But I did the Disney Wonder twice, which included the Golden Mickeys, Frozen, and Disney Dreams. The Golden Mickeys and Disney Dreams are precious Disney book shows that have little clips, but it's like those kind of cruise shows that have those clips, but this has a storyline to it. It's really, really fun. But in Frozen, I was Gerda, which
Oh my
is
God,
Anna's
yes.
handmaiden, and I was Baby Troll,
Oh my God, yes.
and which was so fun. And then in Golden Mickey's, I was Ensign Benson, which is the stage manager, the lead of the show. And then in Disney Dreams, I portrayed the fairy godmother on stage. So that was wonderful.
That's so awesome. And like, what did working on the cruise line teach you about versatility and performing in so many unique environments?
So much, so much. In terms of environment, you're rocking on the ocean.
Yep.
You can
Yeah.
feel it, and I believe it's like our second or third cruise out after being open. We would be in Vancouver, crossing down to Hawaii, and the seas can be a little rough around there, and so we would be kind of dancing like this. But Disney has contingencies for that as well, which is wonderful for versatility. When you're on a contract, specifically in Australia, it's so far away from Disney in the US. It takes forever to get replacements if we need them. And if you're in a position where you can step in last minute and just cover something, they will appreciate that. So there were a couple times where we have sickness going through the cast or whatever, and this happens on just about every ship contract I've heard about. But something will happen where a sickness will go through, and the people who survive that have to
Yep.
step up and try something new and just add it in at the last minute, which I've done a couple of times. Uh, and very, very fun. It uses a different part of your brain, and I like it. It's fun.
Yeah. Live, laugh, love, swing brain.
Yeah, for sure.
And reflecting on your time with Disney Cruise Line, what's like a highlight moment that you'll always treasure?
Oh, wow. Well, a lot of the joy that came to me from the job was seeing how it impacted people, specifically children. I was very blessed to be in a position where kids would watch me for an hour and a half, hour on stage, and would have the opportunity to come meet me at the end of the cruise. And so I got a lot of um, moments with children that were just so precious to me, learning about how they want to do theater when they grow up, and they saw the Golden Mickeys, and they loved me, and they want to take pictures with me and ask me questions and all that stuff. And there was this family in Australia who had come the previous year, and I had remembered them this past year. And the whole cruise, they always had these wonderful matching outfits. They were so nice to everybody. We remembered them all, and we did the Golden Mickeys, and I got to see the kids then too. And then when we had finished the cruise, they all came up to talk to me and just let me know how much they were grateful for everything. And then a couple weeks later, I got a letter from one of the little boys in that family, just letting me know how much that moment meant to them, that I could stop and spend some time with them, and how much he loves the Golden Mickeys and seeing me. And it was really, really, really special to me. Just knowing that even being on stage and just trying to make people laugh for 30 minutes can have that kind of impact. It's really wonderful.
Yeah, I always say, I feel like I'm a broken record when I say it, but it's true. I always say theater is magic.
It really is.
When you get to hear about the impact of the magic that you helped create, there's no
Hmm.
better feeling in the world than
No.
that. That's so special.
Hmm.
So I'm so excited to dive into all things Hairspray because you are currently making your Cape Playhouse debut as Tracy Turnblad in Hairspray. What a better debut. So you had such a crazy journey with Hairspray, which we're gonna get into, but I want
Hmm.
to hear about like your first impressions of Hairspray, like your first time watching it, like how did it enter your
Oh,
life? What did you feel? Like I'm so curious.
yes. So when the movie came out, I was a kid, and My mom and I went to see it in theaters. She loves musicals and she loves Hairspray. We went to see it in theaters. We loved it so much. We had to bring my dad and brother along with us to see it again in theaters. Then we had to get my cousin, bring her to it, see that again in theaters. And then I believe we saw it a fourth time, just me and my mom, because we felt like it, because we
Oh
loved it
yeah.
so much, so much. Once we could get it on CD, we were playing it in the car all the time. It was constant in our house was that we love Hairspray. We got it on DVD, watched it all the time. Whenever my mom had her choice of movie, it was always Hairspray. And so I really, really loved Tracy and loved the show from a very young age. And in fact, I remember after seeing it so many times in theaters, going to school and being on the playground and saying to everybody, my name's not Grace anymore, call me Tracy.
Hell yeah.
And yes. And so I was just so, so, so obsessed with it for so long. I've loved Tracy forever. So I'm so grateful to be able to tell her story.
I mean, she's such a queen, and you portrayed the role of Tracy at the Art Center of Coastal Carolina from
I
April to
did.
May. So this
Yes,
timing was crazy because you did it from
I
April to
know.
May, and then you are now stepping back into her shoes at the Cape Playhouse from July till August. And this is
Yes,
all within the same year. Like
the
you're
same year.
you're an icon. So what has it been like for you to step back into this role? And do you feel your Tracy kind of like evolving or changing as you continue
Oh
the
yeah.
journey with her?
Absolutely. I think that this isn't the first time I've done a show twice. Like I've done some shows even more than that, but I every time when you do a show again, you realize these kind of differences, and especially like yes, the difference from the direction and the choreography and just the specific things, but the energy of the cast is always different. You're never going to find the same energy twice.
Yeah.
And so it was really fun playing and learning more about Tracy through experiencing these new people and new players at this game. And so I feel like I've definitely developed a little bit more from Tracy. And I love telling this story every day. I could never get sick of it, I don't think. It's the best show.
I know that it is. I mean, I was so grateful I got to play Corny Collins so many times because
Yes,
you never get sick of it. It's the best.
Corey's the
And
best.
the best thing is like the music stays with you
Yeah,
forever. And
yeah,
I think like I mean the story is so beautiful and so important. And I feel like the music it's just so fun. And like
yeah,
there's it's such a good time. I love that show so much. Oh.
yeah, absolutely.
So what was your reaction when you found out you'd be playing Tracy in Hairspray yet again at the Cape?
Oh my goodness. Well, I was in my last production. I believe it was the opening weekend or a couple days after that. And I was so, so excited. I was so thrilled to be even called back just because of the reputation of this theater is so incredible. And I obviously have heard about it for years and years. And I felt so lucky to be able to even have a callback. So then when I got the offer, I just couldn't believe it. And I feel like every actor goes through moments of like imposter syndrome where it's like, no, that's not real. Like, oh, they're just offering it to me because like nobody else wanted it or
Yeah,
something.
been there.
And but as the process has gone on, I've gotten more comfortable. I feel so appreciated and loved at this theater, and I'm so, so grateful to be here. So I truly I think it was just filled with gratitude and shock. I just couldn't believe it. Now
I
I'm
mean,
a little believing it, but we'll
I
see.
mean, because you had opening night was last night.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, wow. And you must be reeling from that.
it was wonderful. It was a great audience. Everybody has worked so, so hard, and you can see it. And just, I'm so lucky to be in a cast of so many talented people. So many talented people. It's wild. I was getting emotional about it on stage last night during I Know Where I've Been, being able to even hear Keisha sing I Know Where I've Been, let alone be standing next to her, having the opportunity to be taught by her is just it was like choking me up. I couldn't believe where I was. I was so thrilled.
You know, those moments where you can just stand on the stage and be like, this is
Yeah,
where we got to together. And when you get to
yeah,
actually have that moment in the show written there for you each night, I
yeah.
just think it's so beautiful. And I'm so excited. Keisha's coming on the podcast too in a couple weeks. So I'm super
Love her.
excited
You'll
to
love
get to
her.
chat with
Yeah.
everyone. I feel so lucky and grateful that I get to sit down with all of you. So what does it mean to you to get to make your Cape Playhouse debut with this production? Because I mean, everything
Yeah.
all around is just iconic. The theater's iconic, the show's iconic,
Yeah.
this role is iconic.
Yeah. Well, the theater, they're celebrating their 99th year, and next year is 100 years of the Cape Playhouse, which is wild to me. So, and, you know, going back to my dressing room and seeing a photo of Julie Andrews at the same dressing room station that I am, it just it's so baffling to me and so wonderful. Um, it's just back to that kind of gratitude and shock that I
Yeah.
can't believe it, and how happy I am to be here and grateful that they'll have me play my dream role in such an amazing theater.
Yeah. And what was it like for you as an actor, kind of preparing to step into such an iconic and beloved role? Did you find like you took anything from your previous production, anything you wanted to kind of do differently? Like, what was that like for you,
Yeah,
the actor brain?
I think the first time I did it, I I was so excited, and I still am every time I do it. But it can scramble your brain a little bit. So, I was learning it for the first time. I was figuring Tracy out. And then this time around, I already knew the lines. I already knew the story and the arc and how at least I moved through Tracy. And so the things that I wanted to work on were more, I could dive into it a little bit. There would be moments of inactivity that I would have that in the last production that I would find where my story's coming from in this one, and that was just awesome. I felt like I could see everything so clearly the last time, but now it's like I've got like X-ray specs on and I
Yes.
see it even better and I can see
Yes.
into where I'm going, which was wonderful. I also, Hairspray is such a physical show, and I the first time around, I don't know what I need physically to be able to keep my body up and be able to do this many shows. And so being able to do it before this and now having a bit more of an intense schedule, um, I now am able to know what I need and know how to take care of myself in ways that will let me do it. And I learned that from doing the first time. So it's great.
Yeah. I feel like it's so special, and it's always my favorite thing to chat about with actors is when you get to step into the same role twice. Like I got
Yeah.
to do it recently, and I feel like you learn things that you didn't even realize were there before the first time.
Yeah.
Just so special because even though you're playing the same part, you're speaking the same lines, you're singing the same lyrics, it
Yeah.
feels so different. And I feel like it's so cool because not many actors get to step into the same shoes twice. So I think that's really
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. It's wonderful.
And I mean, Tracy is just such an inspiring character. I mean, I what I admire about her so much is that like she always leads with kindness and courage and authenticity, and she never ever gives up. So I'm so
Mhm.
curious, how has portraying Tracy kind of inspired you both as a performer and as a person?
Oh, wow. I think that with with this job, you can get really bogged down on nitty-gritty things and lose the bigger picture of what you're doing, of what is important in the world. Uh, and it's natural. Everybody gets sucked into their work. But playing Tracy allows me the opportunity to see more and see the change in the world that should come and should be there because it's what's right. and feel that and still face it. I think that a lot of people can feel it and see it and acknowledge it and say, thank you, that's going to stay over there. And that's how I lived my life on the cruise ship. Just you're isolated. You don't know what's going on totally in the world. And especially being in a different country, we were away for so long, while so much was happening in the world and in our country specifically, that now that I have this opportunity to see what is going on and be there, I have the choices to make to face it and to not shy away from a challenge of what is right.
I feel like Tracy so beautifully personifies the quote, be the change you wish to see in the world. And I think
Absolutely.
getting to step out onto that on stage and do that for young kids and
Yeah.
generations, because I feel like the show is so generational. Everybody loves it. And it's so timely. And I think it's so beautiful when you get to step out on that stage and really just shove that message down in the most beautiful way. I always say musical theater is the best way to get a message across. I will stand by that
Absolutely.
forever.
Absolutely.
It's so special, and this show is just the pinnacle of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to know what your favorite part about portraying Tracy is, and what
Oh,
does it mean to you to get to tell this beloved story?
oh my goodness. My favorite parts. Gosh. I love her joy and her spirit as well. Like just being able to play somebody who sees the world the way she does. Like in her head, everything is a musical and it's this is the way that it should work because that is what's right. It's so simple to think about life that way. And so it brings me so much joy to be able to step into that for the 2.5 hours, and just try and spread a little happiness and joy. Sorry, what was the second half of your question again?
And just your favorite part about getting to tell this beloved story.
Yes. Um, Definitely seeing the change it brings to people, seeing the impact is of Hairspray. It's so crucial and it's very crucial to be telling this story now. It it's something that you can't shy away from anymore. And Hairspray is an excellent way to show that and show that to the world that joy comes first, that love and caring about each other and doing what's right has to come first. And I'm so thrilled to see any impact that it has on the community of Cape Cod and anywhere in the world that gets to see Hairspray. So,
It's just the best. And I mean, I feel like with all musicals, but I feel it especially in this one, it becomes a piece of your heart and it just
mhm,
becomes something that you carry with you. And I think that that's
mhm,
just life changing.
yeah.
So, do you have a favorite scene, song, or moment in the show that you look forward to performing each night?
Ooh, let's see. I love I Can Hear the Bells. It's so
So
silly and fanciful and just so pinnacle Tracy, as well as my favorite scene. Ooh.
I know there's
It's
so
so
many good
hard to
ones. I'm
pick.
sorry, there's so many good
No. Oh, I know exactly what it is.
ones.
My favorite moments, other than I Can Hear the Bells, are the moments in Welcome to the 60s when Tracy is helping Edna
So
come
good.
into herself and find her light and her star. She loves her mom. She loves her even though they bicker and knows that she has that spark, that star power in her and just wants her to feel the love. Yeah, definitely my favorite moments.
That is always my favorite. Like that's my favorite thing to watch on
It's
stage.
and
It's
seeing
just
her
the
come
love.
out.
Yeah.
Oh,
And that
yeah.
must have been so special for your mom to get to watch you do. Like
Yeah,
after
that was a
having seen
classic
that.
in our car.
Yeah.
We would sing "Welcome to the '60s," and she was
Oh,
Edna and I was Tracy.
oh, so having her see you do that up on stage must be like
Yeah.
the most incredible thing.
Oh,
Oh,
for
wow.
sure.
Oh, and then what has playing Tracy taught you about yourself as a performer, especially as you got to step into her shoes again?
Yeah, I think that, you know, it's so normal for performers and for people to feel not so sure about themselves in some aspects. And I've learned so much about what I think I can do and what I can do and where that's disjointed. And it's brought so much joy and confidence and just happiness,
Yeah.
truly, to my life to be able to um, play a character that I love so much when so many times I can get into my own head and say like, oh no, you know, you're good, but like you can't play Tracy at Cape Playhouse. And then just proving myself wrong and being able to tell her story is just so wonderful.
It's such a special one, and getting to see yourself reflected in a character and knowing that what that does for so many young children. Like for me, like you said, I feel like I saw so much of myself in Tracy because she never gave up. And
Yeah,
even when people told her no, she was always persistent. And I think that was the first time that I saw that kind of quality being reflected on stage. And like that has
yeah,
become a part of me. And I think it's so special that when you get to do that on such a big, iconic stage for so many
yeah,
people to see, it's just the most beautiful reminder.
yeah. It's really wonderful.
I mean, Hairspray is a show. It's filled with so much joy and so much heart and just an incredibly powerful message about acceptance and always standing up for what's right. So, what do you hope that audiences take away from this production when they leave the theater?
Oh, wow. I hope that they take away the fight that must happen, the joy that should be spread through the world, and the understanding that even when you're faced with adversity, that's when you need to step up. Motormouth says, because just to sit still would be a sin, which is such a huge line. And it's one of my favorite lines in the show. And it's so true. The the inactivity and the complacency with just settling for things not being okay is something that we can't afford anymore. The world needs you to step up and spread love and spread joy and fight for equality and fight for what is right, because even when it's hard, that's when you need to keep the fight, and that tells you what kind of person you are. So I think that I hope that the audience will take away the understanding of that message and find that spark that Tracy has, that she wants to change the world and she knows the way that it should be, and she doesn't know how she's going to do it yet, but she knows that she will, and that when she's met with adversity that she will continue to fight. And it's the kind of life I want to lead. And it's the kind of life I hope that people leave wanting to lead, and know that nobody can stop the beat.
Nobody can stop the
No
beat.
one.
Yeah, no,
You
that was
can't.
beautiful. And I think it's so special because when you get to see that come out in song, and especially when you get to see a cast rally together, both on
Yeah.
stage and off, to tell this story, it truly tells you that nobody can stop the beat. You can try to stop our dancing feet, but we're not
But
going to
you
stand
can't.
still. We are
You
not going to stand still.
can't.
So, looking back on everything you have achieved in this industry, what advice would you give your younger self entering the industry?
Oh boy. I think that the best advice I would give or try to give to myself and would offer others as well is to spread joy, truly, to lead with kindness and just focus on the good, positive, wonderful things, and how blessed I am to be able to do this job and do what I love and share it with the world and know that at the end of the day, theater is magic and it's just theater. It cannot control you any more than you can control it. And so you should choose the joy and the happy over the fatigue of being stressed, you know?
Real. Choose the magic because it will always be there. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Grace, thank you so much for joining me on the Inspiration
Thank you
Show.
for
I
having me.
am just in awe of your incredible talent, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to get to look up to you and watch you shine. This conversation
Thank
was
you.
so special and so meaningful, and it will hold a special place in my heart always. It was such an honor to have you here.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
inspiring me.
Thank you so much for having me and have a great rest of your day.